It is good to see you again a second month. It's February, maybe a couple days before Valentine's. I hope you are doing well. My name is Kristen Valerius, and I have the honor of talking to you 2 months in a row, full heavy dose of me. For some of you, this is your first time, and you weren't in a group last month, and you had a lot of courage to come this week. And for others of you, you kept braving after last month. So we're really glad you're here. I am a child psychologist and owner of Sunstrom Clinical. I won't go into all that stuff. I introduced myself last month, but Hillary invited me back to share a couple things this week about helping kiddos. Last month, we talked about giving ourselves permission to help us as moms, that anytime we are giving ourselves permission to have fun and focus on ourselves, we're helping our kiddos. And so I want to reaffirm that message in terms of talking about how we can help our kids. But today we're going to shift to our focus to our little guys here. And I'll start with a story. So one of the things when I was in grad school, and Keith was in grad school, and we had our first son, Jack, and we were at a daycare at the hospital. So a whole bunch of working professional parents, physicians that maybe I worked alongside of, that they were like bigwig doctors, and I was like a little trainee. And, the daycare had all these lovely ways that they talked. And even though I was this child psychologist, I learned a lot from watching those teachers. And so I one day got pulled in at the end of picking up Jack. And the teacher said that they really needed to talk to me. And the story was that two sweet kids, not necessarily the kind of kids I birth, the kids who just like sit there and were reading books. I have lovely kids, but when they were young, they would never sit down and just like read and color and do those things. They were like busy. Other times when I've talked at Hearts at Homes, I've given a montage of all the crazy pictures that my kids did in like a 2-week period because they were nutso. But anyways, in this particular story, Jack came along behind two sweet kids who were sitting there reading their books, minding their own business, not doing anything to bother anybody. And the teachers had been trying to do a craft with Jack, and Jack was having none of it. He was totally not interested. So he went up behind the sweet kids and smashed their heads together and like really cracked them good. And so then the teacher said the whole room was in a tizzy and everyone was upset and the kids were crying and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, what happened with Jack then? And I said, what, and Jack was just kind of fascinated and didn't have to go back to his project because the teachers were now managing the upset kids. And I thought, if I was a 3-year-old, I would think I was a genius. I would be like, I don't really want to do that thing. I'm kind of bored. Let's see, what about this? And I tried it out and like all this interesting stuff happened, really interesting facial expressions. Nobody made me go back and do that thing I didn't want to do. And I thought that must have worked in his little brain super well. And so I talked with the teachers and we did some thinking to figure out how do we make head smashing when we don't like tasks not the thing that works the best for Jack. And I share that story because that is kind of going to be some of the platform of what I talk about today. One of the things we've noticed as child psychologists in this era of COVID is that kids are hitting and hurting their moms and their siblings, maybe their friends, more and more than ever before. I mean, it's been tough for us. I did not have Jack in any era of COVID, but right now, maybe because we're all smashed together, or maybe it's because there's tension in the air and our world is so confusing for us grown-ups that trickles down somehow to our kiddos. But regardless, kids are just having a hard time. And as mamas, we've been taking a brunt of that. The moms that I'm talking to who feel almost traumatized by their kids that are like hitting and kicking and they're trying to stop it. So for you as a mom, that may not be your specific issue. You may be like, whew, I would never let my kid hit me, or that they were one of the sweet readers, not the hitters. Regardless, what I want us to think about is how to pick one thing that we're working on to improve. Because the other thing we've noticed is that moms are often trying to do everything at once, and we just can't get that done. And I don't mean, which is totally true, I don't mean trying to do the laundry and the cooking and the working from home and the raising kids and the. That is true. Our mental load and all the to-dos on our plate are like ridiculous. They're beyond. But I mean that when we're parenting our kids and we want to work on a goal, not hitting, kind words, sharing, things like that. Sometimes we're working on all those goals at once. We want them to be eating good meals, and we want them to be not on tech, and we want them to be using kind words and managing their feelings and minding and being responsible and being helpful around the house and doing their schoolwork and learning to cut and trace. And we're going after way too many things at once, and that's hard for our kiddos and that's hard for us. Especially right now during COVID. It's become absolutely essential that as parents, especially if you have young kids, but I'm going to say to some degree, even for me with my teenagers, that we focus in on what is my main thing that I really want to help grow with my kids right now. And so for a lot of families, if you do have a kid who has trouble with temper tantrums, emotional regulation, big feelings, aggression, play skills, being a good friend, sharing, things like that. Those are the things that you have to start at the foundation and build your way up bit by bit. And you'll totally get there. I promise you, Mama, you'll get there. But if you think of it like a pyramid, that is the very base level of our pyramid is body control. Can I control my body when I have a big feeling? What's really normal is feeling, cry, and flail. That's what they came to us with. They're just eating and pooping and sleeping machines, and they cry, big feeling. I put that out all over the world. Someone comes in and helps me. That's what they came with. And so in those preschool toddler years, which is kind of the age range that Hillary asked me to focus on, we have to work on that body control before we go up the next levels. For those of you who have kids who are a little bit older or who have kids who have seemed to master the body control, it sort of works that you work on body control and then you work on respecting other spaces. So others, how do they want me to play? How close do they want me to sit? How do they want me to ask for a toy? So how do I kind of engage with my space, keeping my body controlled around them? And then the next top of the pyramid, not period, pyramid, is how using kind words, being a good friend, talking about feelings and problem solving. So a lot of this use your words that we do. For many, many of our kids, use your words is the third level. It's not the first. And sometimes because kids have grown up enough and we think they're old enough, or because we're just ready for that stage, we skip stages 1 and 2 and we go to stage 3 and we still haven't really established that body control. So body control includes, what do I do when I'm mad? How can I show anger? Where can I go to calm myself down? What does calming myself down look like? What can my body do? What does a body in control look like and feel like compared to a body that's not in control? What does it look like and feel like? And so the idea of establishing your first level, and the same idea goes if you're a parent that's on a kid on a higher level, whatever level you're at, you want to weave that level, the positive examples of that level, into your everyday interactions constantly over and 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 over, because that's the way young children learn. And you want to weave that learning in with a a variety of emotions, most often with humor and play and encouragement, the goal you have, instead of only working on the goal when they've misbehaved and you're redirecting them. So a lot of times we'll say, um, be nice, ask your friend, share, stop hitting. And what we're not doing is really working on what it looks like to be in control, be in control, be in control, and then setting our kids up for success to have an in control body. So if you're at a higher level, you would talk about that level and what it looks like and so on. But I'm going to use as my example, knowing that some of you it's not going to apply, but you can kind of apply the same logic, or your friends in your group can help you adapt my talk. So I'm going to use that body control level as an example, what I mean of weaving it through with a variety of different emotions. So if we're working on body control, we can start with, first of all, we might make a visual, because kids learning a whole bunch of different ways works. So we'll get a big piece of paper, put it on the wall, we'll draw a pyramid with 3 levels, and we'll say, we are building a pyramid together, or we're building a triangle, and we want our bottom to be really strong in our triangle. And what color should we make our triangle? And we should put stickers that we like in it. And our bottom of our triangle is having bodies in control, all the good things our body can do. Then we can set up, what are the good things our body can do? Let's think about it. Oh, my body can do this, my body can do that. And then we could play games around what our body can do. Simon Says, follow the leader, hopscotch, obstacle courses, and a stuffed animal parade, helping baby brother take a bottle, right? All these things that we do, while we're doing them, we say, look at how in control your body is. Man, your body does such cool things. It is hopping on one foot. You are coming up with great ideas for follow the leader. When I did what I came up, my brain thought of, you were able to follow me. I love how your body went over and picked up that toy. Thank you for having such an in control body at dinner. So we're going to look for all the times that I have an in control body as a mom. I might reflect that. My kiddo has an in control body, and we're working really, really not hard, but frequently to use words to wrap around this idea. So we're observing like a mirror when we're seeing it show up. And we're creating chances for the skill that we want to see to actually happen, instead of creating chances for it didn't happen. I grab the toy, I push and shove, and then I say, don't do that. So it's kind of, the idea is kind of called positive practice, where you're practicing the skill you want to see with a different set of emotions than what a child feels when they're not able to show the skill. So I'm mad, I'm greedy, and so I grab the toy. That's going to happen, and it's okay to do all the things you normally would do. I'm not saying that you have to pause consequences for that. If you use timeout when they grab or push or hit, you can still use timeout. If you give the toy back, then you can still use that. The one thing I would say is keep your words short. So no hitting, that hurts. Or your body is not calm, or your body is not kind. It's not in control. Let's control your body. And then as your language is quick, then you can help redirect to doing something more positive. So I like it. Oops, hold on. I hope that, I think we're good. I just got a little alert on my phone, but hopefully we're okay. Then you can work on using more positive language around what you want to see. So no hitting, no hurting. That is really okay. But instead of no yelling, you might want to say, I love it when your voice is quiet, short and sweet. I love your soft voice. I love your gentle voice. I love your asking voice. Oh, thank you for that kind voice. Thank you for that. You are really in control of your body. So we're really trying to observe frequently this thing that we want to see happen over and over and over and over and over, and giving them lots of opportunity for that. The other thing we want to do is check in on the progress and give feedback. So this is super huge, and it's actually almost more important for us as moms than it is for us as for our kiddos. Okay, so you might just set up a chart. Simple. You don't have to be fancy, mama. Get a piece of paper, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 rows. And you're going to just draw a line and you're put it on the fridge. And 3 times a day, you'll check in and say, how was our body this morning? Did we have control of our body? What are some of the things that we did that made our bodies really in control? Oh, I really like that too. I really like that. Oh no, sorry, moms. I'm being like alerted and all sorts of things while I'm trying to record this. So then let me see. I got to get my train of thought. So when you check in, you're going to try and observe and notice all the things that my body did that was in control, that your body is in control. Should be about 2 minutes. And after that 2 minutes, you move on. Maybe not even 2 minutes. For some kids, they don't even want to check in at all. It's like almost counterproductive. In which case, you checking in, put the feedback star sticker in the box. You checking in yourself, how did my kiddo do? Was I focusing on this one goal and like bringing it into my language? That lets you reflect on how well you did yourself in terms of staying focused on one goal and not trying to do all the mom things. Now, during the time that you're checking in, you might be doing laundry, you might be doing work, you might be doing whatever. That is totally okay. I'm not saying that you sit there and play follow the leader all day long with your kiddo. What I am saying is that when we as moms are going after so many things at all times, and we're trying to run our life and our house and, meet our own needs, we lose track of where we're developing things with our kids. And we don't have the frequency and the repetition of the foundation with our kids that they need to make the stepwise progress. I'm not saying you can't scold your kid, but if you do a check-in and they didn't make it, you say, oh, we had a little tough body time this today, we're going to move on. That doesn't mean in the moment you don't address it because you're waiting for whatever, but it means we're not going to come back to a lot of negative conversation around it. We're almost going to give it no attention at all. And we're going to use check-ins, or like star chart things. We're going to use that for giving a lot of positive attention and almost no attention for whatever we didn't make in the goal. So this is really kind of a quick run through. Some of you will be like, yeah, I've used sticker charts and they don't work. Often the reason they don't work is because we are going too big, too much, and we're not doing enough fun and playful repetition in making it possible. And we're not enthusiastic about it. And there's so much more chance for misbehavior than there is chance for success. That's one of the reasons. And not staying consistent. So it is okay to have the smallest of goals, mama. That is okay. Whatever you feel like you care about and you really want to work on, just weaving that in a positive way with repetition and with checking in so that you and I are both noticing the successes. Doing that helps things turn a different direction. It may not happen right away. For some of the kids that have really been hitting, it's taken a while, but it's really helped, really worked. So if this wasn't your issue, hopefully you can still adapt it to what is your issue. I just know the discouragement of young kids hitting is really so hard. And whatever it is that your heart needs, I hope the chats together today really help grow your hearts and know that you're not alone and that you're the best of the best. You're doing a great job. Thanks for letting me chat with you. See you soon.